جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين.
So, Assalamu alaikum, dear Shaykha, and my dear brothers and sisters. So, Alhamdulillah, we are blessed to have another youth forum session. And today we will be, inshallah, it will be a very interesting session. It will be based on a career of being a police officer and how to get into the police officer career. I would now like to introduce our host for today, Brother Majid. So, Brother Majid has worked in the police force as a community support officer and currently now works as a police officer for 15 years. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Brother Majid is currently a dedicated ward officer in Barnet. I will now pass it over to Brother Majid.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone's well. So the Metropolitan Police is who I work for, and they cover predominantly the greater London boroughs and other areas. So if you go towards Essex, it'll be covered by Essex Police. If you go to like Slough or somewhere like that, it's covered by Thames Valley, etc. Each area has its own police force, but in London, Greater London, it's the Metropolitan Police Force. So they are recruiting and always have done, because they have, just over 30,000 police officers and thousands of police staff. Currently, they offer multiple entry routes into policing. So no matter what route you join, the Met, you'll receive possibly the best training to help you equip and prepare you for lots of challenges of policing, predominantly London. You'll be employed as an officer from day one. You'll be learning alongside experienced officers on the front line while earning a competitive salary. And on the police constable degree apprenticeship and the degree holder entry program routes, you would be working towards a fully funded degree or a graduate diploma in professional policing practice. So the Met offers the opportunity to join as a police constable on full-time 40 hours, but they're also part-time basis as well. So you just simply need to choose the option that best fits with your lifestyle. The Metropolitan Police is absolutely massive. There's thousands of jobs inside, ranging from obviously commissioner, there's thousands of police staff. They need administrators, managers, drivers, all the way down, cleaners, cooks, everything. They're all, they have hundreds of jobs. So I always tell people, go on the Met Police website. That's where you would look under careers, and you have options to look at either police community support officer, or police officer, or even police staff. And I'll go through some of the roles that they've got at present. And then for the younger folks, they have a volunteer police cadets. Those are predominantly for, I think it's 13 upwards, up to 17. And you can join the police cadets, and they do certain things in certain areas. Again, it's all on the website, and I'm always about, so you can always ask me about it. The Met Officer Gateway Program is a new program for those looking to begin their journey as a police constable. You will study under tutors and earn a salary and gain a level 3 qualification, which is equivalent to 2 A levels. Once you have reached a standard, you will be able to undertake police constable degree apprenticeship, PCDA. So that would then give you a diploma in policing. And they currently have applications open. I think they close on the 17th of October. So they have these applications. You just have to look online as the closing dates, but currently it's 17th of October. The Police Constable Degree Apprenticeship, PCDA, for those who have or wish to get a degree, this is a good route. And I would say it's quite a rewarding career should you wish to want to do it. And you can earn a decent salary whilst also studying. And technically, they are paying for your degree course. So a lot of the young folks that I've been speaking to have been doing it. It's open to non-degree holders, and it's a 3-year apprenticeship program, which provides you with opportunity to learn as you earn and achieve a BSc honours degree in professional policing practice, as long as you have a successful completion. Throughout, you'll be employed as an officer from day one and working with London's communities while being fully supported in applying your learning practically on the job. The program is delivered currently in partnership with 4 London universities, being Brunel University of London, University of West London, Anglia Ruskin University, and the University of East London. The training, unlike traditional qualifications, the PCDA is a vocational program that focuses on practical learning and is specifically tailored for a career in policing. You learn how policing works in theory. So a lot of the paperwork, the practical theory side, you'll be looking at, and then when you encounter practical situations in real life, you'll be prepared and able to apply and to know what you do. So basic law you'll be taught basically. Your learning will cover a range of policing topics, including officer safety training, emergency life support, safeguarding, crime investigating, and operational policing skills. On successful completion of all the elements of the PCDA, you would including operation academic assessment, you'll be a fully qualified substantive police officer, and you should hopefully, inshallah, come out with a degree in professional policing practice. You learn more about frontline policing and undertake some operational training to help with your new skills and practice and contextualize your initial learning. There's a thing called street duties. So street duties are basically when you go out dressed fully as a police officer and applying the knowledge that you've learned. So with this first entry course, you'll do that for 8 weeks of street duties on the borough that you choose to work on, and you'll work alongside experienced officers putting the theory into practice, and then they will allow you to reach a certain standard, and then they'll give you independent patrol status, which is IPS for short, as long as you complete the street duties successfully. And then rotations and ongoing learning. Once you achieve the IPS, which is independent patrol status, you are what we call a probationer, or probably for short, and that's normally for 2 to 3 years. They're waiting for you to pass all the units, get signed off by experienced officers and sergeants, and you do this in different departments. So whether it's frontline policing or whether it's in the offices investigating crime, between them, they'll be looking at signing you off. The periods of further learning at various points, they allow you to give you short breaks. So when you go into university, they will have certain days that no one can disturb you. So you'll be able to do that over a certain period of time. And in your final year, you'll undertake an endpoint assessment, which will include a completion of the research project focused on practical policing problem with a solution that makes a difference to helping London safe or become more safer, and a presentation and panel discussion about your project. You'll also undertake a professional discussion about your operation competency and portfolio, and then you'll compile throughout your program stuff that you will demonstrate your skills and knowledge as an effective officer. And again, finishing that, you'll also get the degree. So the entry requirements for this, in addition to the standard police officer, you have to hold a level 2 qualification in English language at your GCSE grade C or above, and grades 4 to 9. If you do not have the qualifications, they may consider an English language equivalent overseas qualification. You must also hold or be working towards one of the following: 64 UCACS points within the meaning of Section 3 of the Education Skills Act 2008, which is the UCAS tariff calculator. Or if you are special constable, which are special constables are those people who dedicate a certain amount of time, which is roughly 16 hours a month for free. They get trained up to be police officers, but they don't get paid for it. As long as they've done that for 12 months and achieve independent patrol status, they are able to use that as evidence to become a police officer. The other one is if you had at least 12 months service as a community support officer and passed your probationary period. And third one, academic or vocational qualification gained outside of England and Wales, which is equivalent or considered by the UK Recognition Information Centre. So basically, they're looking for 64 UCAS points. The main thing here is, and what is very important, is your basic GCSE English and maths. You need to, the old grade Cs, I can't remember what the points are now, but what you need is that to be at that level. On some points, if you do not meet the criteria, they will consider training or work experience that you may have taken elsewhere, and they may be able to assist you with UCAS points. If we can share one of the other screens, so the pay, the pay by 2000 and included increase in London waiting. So as a full-time police constable in the Met, through the PCDA entry route, you will receive an increased salary of over 31,500. It includes allowances that can take it to 34,000. So to become a top earning officer, you have to do at least 7 years, and that will take your earning towards 48,000. Part-time officers, it all depends on how many hours you do. The second program that they have, so if the sister can show the last slide, which is the degree holder entry program. Degree holders can apply to the degree holder entry program. So this is a 2-year program, and it gives degree holders in any subject area with an opportunity to learn as they earn and gain a fully funded graduate diploma in professional policing practice on successful completion while embarking on a career with the police. Unlike more traditional qualification, the DHEP, as they call it, is a vocational program that focuses on practical learning and specifically tailored for career in policing. You learn how policing works in theory, so you'll be able to encounter your and deal with practical situations in real life. You'll be employed as an officer from day one, and obviously make a difference to London's communities, fully being supported in applying your academic learning. And again, it's the same for universities as before: Brunel University, the University of West London, Anglia Ruskin University, and the University of East London. So those are the two main routes. The third and last one, and again, is the IPOD training program, which is the IPLDP, Initial Police Learning and Development Program. So the police originally got rid of this program, but they've brought it back, and it's open for a short period of time. So it's basically you are a probation for 2 years, and it's for non-degree holders, and it requires folks to make sure they have the English and maths. And what it provides is a blend of practical on-the-job experience and classroom-based learning at one of the internal Met training sites. You'll be employed as an officer from day one, making a difference to London's communities, fully supported in applying your classroom learning practically on the job. Whilst this training program won't provide an accredited qualification like the police constable degree apprenticeship program, it follows a similar structure to all the police training routes. However, if someone does this course and wishes to then do the degree course, we can arrange that, and that can be sorted. So there's options there for people who your basics is get your English and maths and A levels to at least 64 UCAS points, and then you can study for a degree whilst getting paid, or you can come with basic GCSEs and basic A levels and see if you can go through the IPOD training. And again, the pay is still will be the same. You'll be starting, on a level of 31,000, and that increases up to around about 50,000 after 7 years. And again, English and maths is important, and some students who have international qualifications, if they equivalent to GCSEs or A levels, which some are, they will take that into consideration. So that's the 3 main routes into policing. I've worked for them for 15 years, 10 years as a police officer, 5 years as a community support officer. I first started off out here in Newham. I used to be based around Green Street in the old West Ham Football Club. And the role of my being a community officer was getting to know the communities, speaking to them, finding out what the problems were, and then trying to put things in place to try and solve those problems. So problem-solving methods that we were trained to do and use, we put those in place. I then decided to become a police officer and end up doing sitting exams, which were very hard. There's a lot you need to learn. You have to be very focused and prepared to do shifts, which are night shifts, early shifts, obviously the normal day shifts. I ended up going to response team, which are the real name is core team, but they call them response team, and they're the officers that will come in blue lights. They deal with 999 calls or the 101 calls, the live incidents as we call them. So I did that for 3 years up in Barnet. So it gave a good knowledge of what was happening on the streets. You see other things that you wouldn't normally see. Unfortunately, some are good things. You see people helping other people, but a lot of the time you're seeing the bad side of society. So you need to be prepared mentally to be doing that. I then moved on towards Golders Green as a neighbourhood officer, as they call it, MPT. I investigated local crimes in Golders Green, in that area. And then the last 5 years, I've been working in Totteridge as a designated ward officer. So each council ward has 2 dedicated ward officers, who are police officers, and 1 dedicated PCSO, which are police community support officers. And between the 3, we focus on long-term problems, whether that's youths causing antisocial behaviour, long-term drug dealing, burglaries, giving crime prevention advice, just try to work with the communities in the area and try to give them a bit of reassurance by giving a visible presence. So being a Muslim, alhamdulillah, the police have been, for me, have been very positive. Never encountered any issues. You have to be very honest from the beginning, because like some of your friends and relatives, there are people who practice and people who don't practice. You have to be very honest to them and say, look, I need to pray Salah. Is there venues for Salah? All my managers have been very good. They're always given place to read, even when we are sent on aid sometimes. So recently there was a Notting Hill Carnival. Unfortunately, I had to go and police that. Even the Queen funeral, we had to go and police that. And alhamdulillah, we was able to find places to do wudu and to pray. You just have to tell them, look, between this time and this time, I need to pray. I need to be doing this. And alhamdulillah, it's been very good. And they're very pro, they want sisters to be joining and brothers to be joining, because, if we are not joining and working with them, then a lot of these people, they don't have many interaction with Muslims. And then if you're joining, they'll start having positive interactions from practicing Muslims. And inshallah, you're able to give them dawah. Like a lot of the people that I work with, I've recently taken them into a mosque up in Hendon. And it was the first time they ever went into a mosque. None of my colleagues have any problems with me taking time out to go and pray, because for them it's a bit of an extra break. And you'll find people who smoke, people who want to eat food. You just need to use that time to go and pray. And alhamdulillah, I've been looked after, thank God, alhamdulillah, dua from sheikhs. And that's the main thing. You need to, before you do anything, is you need a bit of guidance. Sheikh, and you need to discuss them, what your plans are, and then inshallah, from their guidance, you take the steps to telling you, and things are made easy, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, I ask for du'as for people, but even if the police officer role doesn't go for you or doesn't interest you, that's not a problem. You can look at police staff roles. There's hundreds of police staff roles, and one of the ones that I've printed out the other day ago was communications officers. Some are police officers, but some are just police staff, and they deal with 999 calls and 101 calls. So whenever someone rings 999 or 101, they'll be the people who pick up the phone and ask you what's happened, or they'll be the ones who dispatch the call saying, can we have police officers to this address? This is what's happening. So they are on shift work, but they're also open to part-time working. They have 3 main locations, one being Lambeth, the other being Hendon, and the nearest one here to East London is Bow, which is literally down the road. It's not too far. And the salary on full-time wages, you're looking up to a starting salary of 28,000. On top of that, you get 20% shift allowance and 10% flexibility allowance. So alhamdulillah, it's a decent amount of money that you can make, whether it's full-time or part-time. And then again, going back to police officers, if they are degree holders and they fancy going into the CID route, they opened something the last few years where you can go in as a direct CID officer. And CID, they investigate complex crime, serious crime like robberies, burglaries, even murders, obviously sexual offences. And then once you're within the policing, you've done that as your basis. Then there's other specialist roles, whether, I don't know, some people like firearms, they want to go in firearms. There's marine units, horse units, searching, what we call POSO, the search teams. So there's many hundreds of jobs in the police. If someone's interested, there's options there. But again, going back, you always ask Sheikh and Sheikha for guidance and advice, and you go about that. I know there's negativity in our community, Muslim community, as to, oh, you're joining the police. There's danger in the police. There's danger. I used to work in Sainsbury's before that. There was danger in everything you do. There's always shoplifters. You try to deal with shoplifters. They can pull out needles and stuff on you. Same in policing. It's just one of those things. You have to make dua to Allah protect you, may give it easy, and then you take it as the days come. Jazakallah. So I hope this was informative.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, it was an incredible session. So Jazakallah khair, Brother Majid. It was really nice of you to take out your time and share your journey and experience with us. I hope you all have learned some useful tips and advice. And Brother Majid has kindly said, if anyone wishes for any more guidance and has any more questions, regarding the police career, he's more than happy to help you. So you can get into contact with Jamia Almaarif if you would like more information. Jazakallah khair for everyone that has joined. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.